Right, well, I thought this was fascinating to read. This came as a bit of a shock to me. Legendary could be buying Lionsgate. Now, I say that because both of these films, Legendary and Lionsgate, I guess more specifically Lionsgate, has kind of been not necessarily the last bastion of, non-nonsense films, but they've been pretty down the line on a lot of stuff. They don't, I don't know, they don't typically subscribe to the nonsense that we've been seeing in a lot of films lately. So, and Lionsgate has a good amount of property as well, a good amount of IP. So this is interesting. This is, to me, it's fascinating. Legendary, for instance, as well. Legendary has some really good deals when it comes to working with other companies. Legendary is actually the company behind the Dune franchise and also the Monsterverse. Loads of people say it's Warner Brothers, but it's not. Warner Brothers co-finances and distributes for 25% stake, right? They put up 25% of the budget. But the production house, the people that actually make it, is Legendary. The people that hold the rights are Legendary. The people that supposedly make all the creative decisions are Legendary. So, yeah, I've really enjoyed watching Legendary's kind of rise up over the last decade or so now. And I just thought this was fascinating. So, Legendary Entertainment may be looking to acquire Lionsgate Studios, which has just spun off on its own ticker on Wall Street. So it's very early days because Lionsgate just split in half last month with Starz going one way and Lionsgate Studios the other. Precisely, so that either or both could be primed for M&A. So what's clear is that Lionsgate and Legendary are at a minimum having conversations around a couple of feature co-productions. There could be a litmus test in regards to seeing how the two companies jam together and where to take it from there. Again, fascinating. Fascinating because you'd have thought Warner Brothers would be annoyed about that as well because, Legendary normally works with Warner Brothers. I think this is just a really interesting development. So Bloomberg was the first to report the feelers from Legendary. Deadline hears that other parties have also reached out to Lionsgate, which again should not be surprising as the media industry appears on the cusp of a new era of deal making and Lionsgate Studios is now flying solo. So there had been interest in the mini major before the split, but potential buyers balked at having to swallow Starz along with the studios. So Lionsgate, led by CEO John Feltheimer and Vice Chair Michael Burns, has been informally on and off the block for years, and executives were quite attentive when Amazon acquired MGM for $8.5 billion in 2022, where most believed Amazon overpaid. So Legendary Entertainment is the co-financier of big franchises, largely at Warner Brothers, like Dune, the Monsterverse, and also a Minecraft movie. Didn't realise it was Minecraft. Lionsgate, for instance, is the studio behind John Wick's franchise. The Hunger Games, Saw, Twilight, Divergent, and some award-winning titles like 20,000 plus title library, Monsters Ball, La La Land, etc. So, this is pretty major stuff. Pretty major stuff. So Lionsgate shares jumped 20% today on the Legendary report to close at $7 with a market cap of $2 billion. Overall, its shares have not popped since the split, as management had hoped they would, a fact that could discourage the board from selling at this point, even with a big premium. Starz shares have performed significantly better since the separation. So one issue that's dogged a studio sale is that a buyer wouldn't be getting 100% ownership of the cash-rich library. The studio offloads its foreign films in order to run a more risk-free, ideally profit margin type of business. More specifically, whilst Lionsgate may own a John Wick Hunger Games, they're licensed out for myriad years. Oh, interesting. Meaning the studio isn't earning a cash flow on such licensed properties in a way that rival studios, which fully own their movies, do. It's why neither Disney, nor Apple, nor anyone else has scooped up Lionsgate yet. That said, such a setup may not be a big deal for Legendary since the producer is already in the partial rights IP space, owning anywhere from 20 to 50% of the movies they co-fund and co-produce, and the complication may be overstated. Basically, it's mostly big Hollywood studios that have rights free and clear, whilst most smaller producers need to carve them up, and Lionsgate owns North American rights on their movies and has a 50-50 deal with Latin America. I mean, that's not that bad. Still not, it's not great, but it's not that bad. And I guess as well, like if Legendary, which they're saying here, well, Lionsgate, for instance, as well, but also Legendary, if these companies have, they've already got distribution routes, these smaller companies, it doesn't really matter so much. Because I guess they're more in the business of making the money on the film pretty much straight away, rather than having a residual cash flow at a constant pace. They are kind of almost working movie to movie, but not. I guess, you know, like paycheck to paycheck. But they're not really, but they kind of are, but kind of not. So there may also be some angst around the film slate, with Ballerina underperforming and questions swirling around a flagship Michael Jackson biopic. But The Hunger Games: Sunrise of the Reaping is on the horizon. And the real secret to Lionsgate's success, in a streaming-obsessed town where major studios laid billions on the line to launch their own, on-demand services, is that they've remained an arms dealer in TV and film, a provider of content. Yeah. I said this before, it's like the real winners in the streaming wars were the people that didn't participate. Because everyone else is just lost. Lionsgate counts a staff of 1,400 across the globe. Legendary has 180 employees. Wow. That's mad. Legendary Management and Apollo, which invested $760 million in Legendary in 2022, co-own the company, and the board is evenly split. That structure was set in 2024 after management completed a buyout of Wanda Group's remaining equity interest in a move CEO Josh Grode told Deadline would then usher in a new era for the studio. He said this at the time: the purchase of Wanda's remaining ownership interest is the next strategic step in Legendary's long-range growth plan, with our outstanding creative team, headed by Mary Parent, developing, producing and marketing high-quality film and television, and working with leading artists remains core to our expansion. I look forward to continuing to work closely with the Apollo team as we build on Legendary's strong momentum together. I mean, I think this is a pretty good idea. Bloomberg reported that Grode told the media outlet that plans are in the works to use Apollo's monies towards entertainment industry takeovers in the billions of dollars range. Private equity giant Apollo was one of the suitors last year for Paramount Global, before David Ellison's Skydance won that, basically. I think this is decent. I think this is a good idea. I'd be well game for this. I think this is great. What else? What else do you have to say about it, really? I think this is a good idea. I think this could be really good for the industry and really good for both companies as well. But there you go. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.